Hey folks, welcome to Kaiser's Castle. Thanks for you guys dropping by. Grab a seat on my big orange couch. Open up your soda, your adult libation, your coffee or your tea. Take a seat, and you're in for a little bit of a conversation tonight. I'm going to cover two topics. First one will be the whole Dan Crenshaw Young Turks thing. And then the other one will be, at the end of it, the moon landing. What I think really happens. And who really cares? I don't really even care. So we'll figure that one out. The show, or the song that opened the show, of course, was Axion Ghost, Hanabu Highway. Link will be in the description. All right, let's get on to the first cut. Everybody who's listened to my show knows even if a veteran screws up or whatever, I will always support a veteran. It doesn't matter to me. That's just my way. It doesn't have to be your way. But when one gets attacked, and when I say gets attacked, I'm going to bring up Tulsi Gabbard's in the same light. Just like everybody trying to say, well, Trump's a racist, David Duke, supported him, said, yeah, I agree with him, and I throw all my support behind him. Well, he did the same thing to Tulsi Gabbard, and look at how the left jumped on him. And then look at how the left is jumping on Tulsi. She's a veteran, so I'll stand up for Tulsi. That's bullshit. And with Dan, it was undeserved that he got attacked by the Young Turks, but it shouldn't shock you. And here's what I'll say. I don't think anything will happen to Mr. Piker. I just don't think anything will happen. First, he sinks, or Chinks, or however he calls his name, nephew. So that's irrelevant. Plus, the Young Turks is named after the Armenian genocide. 1.8 million Armenians were killed by the Young Turks. And that's a historical fact. You guys can all look it up if you disbelieve. Now, I remember during Bill Maher, and I'm very consistent on this, I also believe in free speech. So I would not even want Piker to lose his job. And I wouldn't say for anybody to push for that. You can put pressure on him, I guess, to apologize. I don't think that'll ever happen because he's just a twat. Who cares? But I'm going to be consistent. Bill Maher talked about 9/11. And this is the change in the culture I've seen. Back then, they screamed for Bill Maher to lose his job. Guess what? I'm consistent in that. I never said that. I didn't have my voice on my platform that I do now. And I'm going to be consistent on this. I don't want Bill Maher to lose his job back then, and I don't want Piker to lose his job. Crenshaw handled it with a great tweet, made light of it just like he did when he got, joked around with. He's sort of like, us veterans that are actual combat veterans. We actually have thick skin. You can say whatever the fuck you want about me or them or anybody. But I will stand behind any veteran when somebody does do that. So my point is, look at what the left's done. They attack Dan Crenshaw several times. Guess what they just did? Bill Maher said something, and the left attacked him just recently. Again. Now they're going to use their little pressure mobs, and they're going to try to get Bill Maher fired. This is what's going on. So just see, they have no consistency. They really have no grounding or no belief in free speech. And we see it all the time. So that's enough about that. Just wanted to let you guys know where I stood with free speech and also with Dan Crenshaw as a man. He's an actual man who gave a lot for this country. And instead of paying attention to people who are athletes, and I know it's entertainment, whatever, but, think about your soldiers. Think about your teachers, your police, your firemen, people that actually should be lauded and used to be lauded. And now I'm going to switch topics. The moon landing. Okay, did the moon landing happen or not? Somebody asked my opinion, and they're like, wow, okay. Here's my thoughts. Do I believe we landed on the moon? Yes, I do. Do I believe that Kubrick may have filmed parts of the moon landing on a soundstage? Quite possibly. That doesn't mean the astronauts that landed on the moon knew that they did that. The Van Allen belt, I've heard that, film couldn't make it through it. That possibly is the case. Heard a lot about, I've seen a lot of stuff where NASA loses the tapes of the moon landing and stuff like that. So I'm pretty in-depth and in tune to why people don't believe in it. Plus the government lying and getting caught so many times recently. Thank God for YouTube and people having cameras and stuff. They get caught lying, and, it's going to cause people to distrust the government more. But I believe that we landed on the moon, and if it wasn't carbon-based life forms that landed there, maybe we had early models of some sort of something to collect samples, moon rocks, moon dirt, that stuff exists. So who knows the reality of it, but I also believe as a backup, they probably did have some filming taking place just in case the film was unusable. It's proven fact that there was 2 speeches written during the moon landing for the president to give. One was, we made it, yay, hippie, yippee-hi-yay, And the other one was, well, this is a very sad day. We lost, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of people did die during the rocket tests, the rocket launches, But we had the best scientists in the world, a lot of them from Operation Paperclip. And they'd been doing rocketry their whole lives. And it still is a lot. Look, we've lost 2 space shuttles to different things. One was from takeoff and one was during landing. So we still have a space station, stuff like that. So that's my opinion. There's facts that lead me to believe that yes, we did. And in some manner. And I believe we actually walked on the moon. I'm not going to be a denier, just like I'm not going to be a denier of the Armenian genocide by the Young Turks. But, do I think they probably had a backup film? Yeah, I think so. And did they use it? I don't know. There's a lot that you can look at the film and think is a little sketchy. Shadows and whatnot. But in the end, it's as real as your perspective. What's the Clinton body count, right? Is that your perspective? See what I mean? It's all comes down to what you believe. Was 9/11 an inside job? You know, Building 7's the only thing I have an issue with, that and the Pentagon. Everything else I think happened as it happened. But, I don't know everything. But those are just two little things I wanted to delve into. I just want to try to get you to think a little bit that, they did it to Trump. They're doing it to Tulsi to undermine her. And she's a veteran. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to stand for them trying to besmirch Dan Crenshaw. I'm not happy with him. His red flag laws disturbed me. And I saw him on Rogan, and he explained it. But I still think there's just so much wiggle room. And so I differ with him on that. But that's okay. I can respectably disagree without being disagreeable. I would never start making personal attacks or something over that. So, and then, like I said, with the moon. That's my thoughts on this night. I've watched 2 separate shows. One was that and one was on this. And I was like, wow, I gotta say something, put my 2 cents in. I'm sure none of you guys really care. But in the end, it's good-natured fun for me to give you guys a chat. Now I'll let you finish your coffee, tea, soda, or adult libation as I slowly roll up the old drawbridge in Kaiser's Castle. Shuff out.